You are listening to episode 84 of the Peaceful Mind Podcast. Welcome to the Peaceful Mind Podcast, a place for creating the peace of mind you need to be the best mom you were created by God to be. If you want to bring more balance, more joy, and more peace to your motherhood, this is the place for you. I'm your host, certified life coach and Catholic mom, Danielle Thienel. In the name of the Father, of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, let's get started. Welcome back, everyone. So glad you are here. How are you? I'm doing amazing, and I hope you are too. Today, we're going to dive into the subject of true productivity. Here's the question. Are you getting things done? Are you seeing the goals and outcomes that you want? Are you being productive in your life? If you answer that question, what's your brain saying? Is it saying not as much as I want to, or I keep trying and I feel like I'm just taking 2 steps forward, 1 step back. I'm not quite there yet. What I'm doing isn't working. Or are you just deciding on something and you then go after it and you're making progress towards it and then you get it done? At the end of the day, when you rest your head on your pillow, were you productive in the way that you wanted to? I'm not saying that we have to be taking, a bunch of action all the time. I'm all for the rest. But the way you know is that if you are propelling your life forward and creating the things you want. Because in order to have that happen, you have to be taking action. You have to be being productive. But it is knowing if you are in true productivity, which is the opposite of false productivity. And we're going to talk about how to make sure you are in true productivity instead of the latter. Okay. Why aren't you getting more done, Mom? If you want to be, why aren't you? What does your mind say? Whatever it is, it's probably an excuse. Yeah, it's probably putting blame on the outside. And in many cases, it's literally just seeing what your circumstances are in life and then deciding how you want to feel about them. And if your brain offered you excuses when I said why you aren't getting more done, then I want you to just know that that is on you, okay? And I say that in the most loving way, and I say it as good news because nothing outside of you has to change if you decide you want to be more productive and step into true productivity. Maybe some of you answered, I don't know. I don't know what's keeping me stuck and not moving and not taking action. And I just want to let you know today that it's okay that that happens sometimes. We have a part of our brain that likes to, tell us things and keeps us kind of safe and really energy efficient and avoiding pain. But the answer is our brain. It's keeping you back from getting the things done that you want to do. And then the good news here is that you can just decide what you think is the next best thing to try and go after it. If you answered you don't know what's keeping you stuck, I can tell you that it is your thinking. And as soon as you decide to think something different about getting things done, then you will start to see the results in your life change. But this is what I want to focus on for you to learn today if you want to step into true productivity. First of all, it means you have to know the difference of the type of action you're taking. There are 2 types. There is passive action and there's massive action. And a lot of times we are taking some action that actually feels as productive for us, but it really is passive and not productive. And so passive action are things like taking a class or an online training. It's reading, listening, or in some other way consuming information. Passive action is fun for the brain if it's about a topic you're interested in. Learning is fun and some learning is necessary. But unfortunately, many people spend far too much time in passive action. When you are in one of the activities like I named, as in taking a class or reading a book about something relevant to the goal that you want to achieve, we feel like we are working. We feel like we are moving forward and being productive towards our end goal because we are thinking about it. But the truth is, until you actually take what we then call massive action, so this is the opposite of passive action, this is massive action, and create something to put into the world or work on what you're wanting to accomplish, you are actually no closer to reaching the goal. So true productivity wouldn't be made up of you taking passive action, because it's not actually contributing to like moving the needle, getting you closer to completing what you set out to do. Massive action will have you seeing a result. So let me give you an example versus this passive and massive action. I had on my to-do list today was to record a podcast, record an episode. And so there was some passive action that I did. I actually had to, I spent some time thinking about what it is that I wanted to teach you all. And I did a little bit of research and reading online about a couple things. And then I took some notes, and I remember looking at the notes, and then I actually just chose what I wanted to do. And then I got all set up on the computer and I started to take massive action, which is to turn on my microphone and get open the software and start talking. And then now in a few minutes when I'm wrapping this up, I will need to edit and upload, and I'll need to write some copy, and I'll need to pick and create a picture. And there's some other things that have to do that makes the whole thing ready to be created in full and get out there in the world. Well, all of those actions that I'm taking of not thinking about it, but actually doing it and then having a result, like in the end, I will have a result of a recorded and uploaded episode. And so I took massive action today. Now, if I didn't take the action of actually recording it and was just kind of thinking about it or being like, I really should make an episode and I really want to, and, maybe I did some more research or reading up about something that possibly could be a topic, that would have been in passive action, and I wouldn't have been productive moving towards the actual end result of having an episode completed. So do you see the difference there? And in order to take massive action, this is the biggest thing I want you to really pay attention here, is that you'll need to be willing to watch your thoughts, especially if what you're after is challenging and you aren't sure how to get there. You'll have to remember that if you just try anything and maybe it turns out to not work, so you might say like it was a failure, that's just information. And not allow it to stop you and tell you that you're making a mistake. You'll have to not listen when your brain says you should be doing something else, like it wants to distract us with saying, don't do that thing that you really want to get done. Go do this easier thing instead. And you'll have to be willing to not quit. Because that's the thing. I've actually been interrupted a few times as I've been recording this. There was a call from the school, and then I heard somebody in the kitchen, so I wanted to stop and let them know I was recording, and like a couple things. But while I'm out there, my brain tells me, oh, while you're up, just go check the mail, and etc., like things like that. And so we really do have to keep focused and expect our brain to tell us all of these other things are a good idea. And then you don't fall for it. You don't then listen to it. You know that this is just your brain trying to protect you, and you keep going instead because you know that there's no real danger in just redirecting and focusing on what you want to get done and getting back to the task so it is finished. And then you can decide what's next for you. So to recap that part, I just want to tell you that there is a different type of action, and one gets you into true productivity and one doesn't. So the passive action, if you find yourself that you're just learning and consuming, that one is not true productivity. We need it a little bit, but we need way more massive action to really be a productive person and to be getting done the things you want to do. You need to step into massive action. And the way you know is if you find out, are you creating something? Do you have a tangible result at the end? Are you moving yourself, propelling yourself forward closer with each of those actions to getting the end result that you want? So true productivity will need to have you finding out if you're taking passive or massive action. Now, the second point I want to bring in today's episode about true productivity is what feelings you are having that are driving these actions. And so we want to just know that if we are coming from a negative emotion like pressure and dread and graspy, it won't necessarily keep us from taking action. You can definitely take action and feel bad at the same time. But I want you to know that it is like a hindrance to you getting the result you want, maybe in the timing that you do, or at the very least, your enjoyment of the process of getting your goal will be affected tremendously. You want to take action from feelings that you are going to, that you know are going to be self-serving for you and a benefit for you, like commitment and determined and excited and focused and compelled, right? Those, even calm, even ease, even fun, like if you're taking action from those type of feelings, I promise you that the productivity is going to be exponential. Yes, we can still be productive and take massive action when we are coming from other feelings like heavy or doubtful or even disappointment or fear. But it really, having consciousness over how you are feeling while you are doing the things you are doing is key. And remember, the way you're feeling is caused by how you're thinking. So how you're thinking about the task at hand or about the end goal, about why you want it, about what you're willing to do. If you're open to it being hard and doing it anyway, or you on purpose create having it be more easy and more fun for you, it's going to impact whether you are truly productive or not and the timing of it. So those are the two things that I wanted you to kind of focus on and look at if you're thinking about and answering the question, how productive am I? And going forward, when you're thinking about accomplishing things and getting a lot done, you know, us moms love to check off those boxes on our to-do list. Coming back to saying, asking yourself if it's passive or massive action is going to be a game changer. And if you find out that you're in massive action, keep going. Keep thinking what you're thinking. Keep feeling what you're feeling. And if you find that you're in passive action, just recognize that you are, and then decide not to stay there too long, put a limit, and get into the creation part, the massive action part. And then knowing how you are feeling while you are moving forward, taking action is really important. We want to question if you're coming from feelings that are going to propel you and drive the right kind of action, or are you going to stay in a in a feeling mode that might actually have you going in the opposite direction, even though you feel like you're getting a lot done. Okay, I get questions on being productive a lot and wanting to get more done. And how do I do this? This is how you do it. You recognize when it's passive or massive action, and you step into on purpose the feelings that will drive the type of actions that you want to take. And our thinking creates those. That is always a given. Your thinking creates your feelings that then drive your actions. All right, I hope that you all have the most productive week and you apply this concept of true productivity to your life and see the changes that it can cause for you. And if they're massive, let me know. Drop me a line, email me, or message me on Instagram. And as always, if you are finding yourself stuck and not able to get into the type of action and creating the things that you want to, and you want an expert to be able to help and guide and support you and show you what you might not be seeing in order to propel you on a path and in a more quickly way, then jump on a call with me. They're free, and I love to meet my listeners. And I promise you, you will leave with feeling some relief and direction and clarity, because life coaching is life changing, and I'm here for you. Thanks so much for joining me. I will see you next week, and take care. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the Peaceful Mind Podcast. Are you ready to take everything I teach you here and put it to work for your own life? To really learn how to have peace of mind no matter what is happening around you? If so, I'd love to have you as a client. As your coach, this is where you'll get personal and focused time on your own mind, using life coaching tools, concepts, and proven life-transforming wisdom, all through a faith-filled lens. To learn more about how we can work together, come on over to DanielleTienel.com. There, you'll see how to sign up for a free coaching consult and learn how to get started. Until next time, peace be with you always.